All right, so our next topic is a little heavy. It's dealing with the issue of self-harm. We had a couple of different questions come in talking about self-harm, and just to remind you, self-harm can be anything from cutting, it can be playing dangerous games about fainting and things like that. That's a form of self-harm. And it can also be eating disorders where you're like depriving your body or you have a poor relationship with food. So that's a way of self-harming. So first question, I'll take, for the sake of you guys. The question is, do self-harmers go to hell? And is like hurting yourself or attempting suicide, is that kind of an automatic track to hell? So we get this question a lot, and I think there are certain church backgrounds that have this sort of rule about it's like an automatic mortal sin or something like that, and that's just not anywhere in Scripture. That there is not any one action that you can do. There's not any one particular sin that disqualifies you from God's grace. The determination of where you spend eternity, of what your eternal destiny or your eternal destination is dependent upon your response to Jesus. It's dependent upon whether you place your faith in Jesus. You have pledged your allegiance to Jesus. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, Jesus grants you forgiveness. He accepts you. He justifies you, declares you in the right. And then you live your life then becoming more and more like Jesus. So yes, there are people who are followers of Jesus who are forgiven, mm-hmm. who then continue to struggle with self-harm. Yeah. And we need to remember that self-harm is it's an unhealthy way of coping with stress. Yes. It's not some radically crazy, scary. I mean, it can be scary, but if we put it in that category of like this is a poor way of dealing with stress, then yes, followers of Jesus, believers in Jesus, can have unhealthy ways of dealing with their stress. So, so the answer is no. It's not like an automatic, go to hell. Mm-hmm. Anything to add to that? Okay, great. So another person is asking about self-harm. Okay, I've got this friend who is thinking of cutting, or maybe they have cut, like I've seen the scars, that sort of thing, or I suspect my friend is dealing with cutting or self-harming. What do you tell teenagers who are in that situation where they got a friend going through something like this?
Yeah, I would say, firstly, know that you do not need to fix this problem. And that it is not your responsibility to fix your friend and help cure them of cutting. A lot of times, like, a friend just wants to be heard, and so it's really good that just be a sounding board for this person, that they can get everything off their chest, they can get all the things, all the stress, all the anxiety, all the expectations that people have been putting on them. They can just vent that out, and you can just hear them, and you don't have to, try to fix it, you just listen. Mm-hmm. You listen to everything they have to say, and then there's a lot of times that after that, they feel better. And so sometimes you just need to listen. You need to listen to what's actually going on before they get to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And once again, to get an adult involved.
Yes.
Like, again, this is like not your responsibility to fix this. And like Garet was saying, like, there's a network of like leaders and adults and teachers and counselors who are equipped to help and care for students who are struggling with self-harm. And so don't take this on yourself and to like get an adult involved. Yeah. Even if that means that your friend is maybe angry with you for a couple of days, because they'll be okay. Like, they will at some point actually thank you for helping them, because they're having an adult involved is more helpful than not. Yeah,
and having done this for a few years now, we've seen students who have dealt with self-harm issues and gotten adults in, and now are in a better place. And so it is true that it's better to get connected to adults who can help, who can provide the care. That's absolutely right. The other thing we talk about a lot is when someone shares something with you that they're struggling with, the best thing that you can do for them right away is just don't flinch. Just say, okay, like, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for you, and not to laugh about it, not to make jokes about it, not to, talk about it in a flippant way or whatever, but to just genuinely be present for them, like you said, listening is huge. One other question on self-harm was someone asking about eating. They ask, is it okay to not eat? This person, I'm feeling like they're too fat for their age, or like feeling weird about eating in front of people because they don't want to feel judged. And so the truth of the matter is that eating disorders like anorexia when you choose not to eat, or bulimia when you choose to throw up after you eat. Those are a form of self-harm. And so God designed us to have a healthy relationship with food. Food is a good gift to us, and He wants us to have a healthy relationship with food, where we're not only enjoying it for nourishment, but also like worshiping Him because of good food.
Yeah.
And when we start to manipulate the way we deal with food, it is a way of dealing with stress. It's a coping mechanism, and coping just means dealing with your stress in a certain way. So like if someone came to me and they were like, is it okay? I mean, sometimes I just go days without eating, or I just don't eat in front of people. I would say, again, kind of like cutting, that like that's not the root issue. That's a symptom of something going on. Like the not eating piece is an unhealthy way of dealing with something else. Like let's try and get to the bottom and get other people involved, right? But like let's try and get to the bottom of what's going on and try and solve and work through what it is that's leading you to deal in this way. So.